Yeah, what is up, everybody? Brian with you from the Game Common, and we are doing our AI-only championship series here in Civilization 6, the fall 2021, and we are on to the second chance round, and we're on to group stage number 3 in the second chance round. And all right, before we get into it, I heard you guys. There has definitely been some people suggesting, hey, it would be really nice if we could see more than one Civ end up moving on from the second chance round. I mean, it just makes for a more interesting game because as you get later in the game, obviously when only one Civ is moving on, then it's kind of boring if that Civ is rolling or just kind of like snowballing and running away with the game. In addition to that, I think it's also a little more fair to have like two Civs make it, just because if only one Civ makes it, usually the Civ that just gets the best start, or if a Civ gets a really good start, then it's basically kind of screws over everyone else. So the big reason we didn't want to do that is because we're going to end up with 6 extra Civs. So the whole play right now is we were going to end up with a total of 20 Civs, which is perfect. We could do 2 groups of 10 for the reverse knockout rounds. Life is great. Ending up with 26, though, is weird because then we'd have to have 2 groups of 13, which I feel is just like too many Civs. I think it's too laggy. I think it's too hard to actually get a fair start for everyone. And I just didn't really like that. But it finally hit me today. So from here on out, going on, we will be moving on the top 2 Civs from here on out with the second chance rounds. In addition to that, we can go into the Hall of Fame here, and we can go into the history, and we can actually see who ended up getting first and second place in the previous games. Now, hopefully it doesn't freeze on me. I think it's freezing on me while I'm recording. I don't know why I can't pull this up while I'm recording. Yeah, see, it froze the game again. So this is very frustrating. So I'll have to pull it out. I can pull it out easily off camera. Now, we'll put a pause in here while we load into the game, and I'll explain who ended up getting second place. But anyways, this is what we're going to do. So we're going to get an extra 6 Civs that are going to come in second place. What we're going to do is only 4 of those Civs then are going to end up making it into the actual knockout rounds. So we will take the 6 that got second place. We will put them. Oh, hey, here we go. Here we go. It actually made it. So this was the last round. We had Crete in first place, and then we ended up with Alexander actually in second place. Okay, so Alexander now is going to be the first one, well, technically the second one into the number 2s. And so what's going to happen with the number 2s, like I said, is they're going to get all put together. We're just going to do a quick round of just the second place Civs, and then the top 4 at the end of 315 turns then will be into the second chance round, and then the knockout rounds. Gosh, this is confusing. And then with the knockout rounds, we're going to have 3 groups of 8, 16, 24. It's going to be perfect. Okay, so let's do one more recap just to make sure I'm explaining this right. So first place and second place are moving on. First place already into the reverse knockout round. They will stay there. Second places will be doing one more game against each other. Top 4 will then move into the knockout rounds as well. Knockout rounds are going to be 3 groups of 8. Makes sense? Beautiful. Perfect. Okay, so Alexander's won. I think it was, I was actually watching the video. I'll go and double check just to be certain, but here, I'm gonna pull up the end of the video. Shut up, Brian. And let's see who was in second place. I think it was Dido. Oh, yeah, I remember. It was Dido. So Dido was actually in second place. I'll double check in the Hall of Fame just to make sure that's right. But it looks like right now we have Alexander and we have Dido moving in. And then today we have a brand new group stage that's gonna come in. Hopefully the Civs actually load in. They did not, because why would they? Now, the funny thing about this is I started actually putting everyone in here only to realize I was looking at last year's group, and I was like, wait a second. One of the ones listed here is Pedro, and I'm like, I could have sworn I remember Pedro already being in the group, and I was so confused, and then I realized I was using last year's doc, and I was like, oh, yeah, that would have been really awkward to do a whole campaign on last year's doc. So we got Harold. By the way, this is the group of yellow. I did all this, by the way. It just, for whatever reason now, Civ 6 doesn't save this when you save it, which is really kind of annoying. Just like one of those bugs that will never get fixed. And then Wilhelmina is the last one. So yeah, we have the group of yellow. I feel like Peter should probably still be yellow. No, you know what? I like his pink and blue. That's fine. Oh, no, that's too much like the other one. Okay, you can stay yellow. We'll make her red. And then Ethiopia can be sexy green. Although that's probably a little too close to... Now we can't do the red. I'll do the green yellow. Yeah, I'll do the green yellow because the green yellow Looks more like Ethiopia, where the green and red just reminds me of Matthias. All right, so this is our group stage today. We got Cyrus, we got Vietnam, we got Peter, we got Nubia, we got Harold, we got Ethiopia, and we got Wilhelmina. So this is going to be an interesting little group here. We are playing on island plates. That's what I ended up randoming. And then everything else is like normal. So we'll load in, and I'll be back in 1 second then. All right, couple problems. Number one, we could not get an island plate map that worked out for us. We had many issues. I loaded like 5 or 6 different ones, and they all didn't work out well. Like one of them, we had like Norway had a giant island all to themselves, where everyone else was kind of trapped on smaller ones. And then like the last one, Persia was on like a tiny island where you can maybe get 2 cities, and that was about it. And they were like trapped there, and I was like, oh my gosh. So then I decided, all right, we're just gonna go ahead and do Fractal. And as I was putting the names in, I realized we didn't put Gauls in last time. We actually had Nubia in, who actually lost last round. So for everyone that had already left me a comment, yeah, we screwed that one up. But we have the right people this time. We have Cyrus, we have Batru, we have Peter, we have Emperor, we have Harold, we have Menelik, and we have Wilhelmina. And we're on a fractal map, so this should be fair-ish. Okay. Oh my gosh. Well, that was an eventful one. I suppose I'm very glad that I could not get a good map, because otherwise we wouldn't have made it. Well, we would have kept going on with like Nubia, and it would have been like, oh, well, I guess we're just going to have to remake the game then. And this is going to be completely wasted episodes. So, haha. All right. So, yeah, there's a lot of room here. I don't think it's like, I think it's okay. I think it's okay. Let's see. Russia's far northeast. They still have some room to expand, but they're going to be right on top with Norway here pretty quick. They'll be against each other. Ethiopia is fighting. Let's see. Vietnam's there. You know what? I kind of want to give this one more reload. I do. Mostly because Gaul is over here with a ton of room. We're going to give this one reload. And then we're just going to keep this map no matter what. And quite frankly, if someone gets a super overpowered position, well, we're just going to have to leave it RNG, okay? RNG favors them. It's kind of like, you know, the comments falling on them. Like, I at some point got to actually record an episode here instead of just hitting reload on maps all day. This is where, like, it would just... I really wish we could get, like, the 6-arm actually working properly. Like if it would actually work with the spectator map, it would just it would make life so much easier. But I understand why it doesn't. I don't know any way of doing it myself. I've tried building maps myself, you know, that would work for this, but it just, there is no easy way to make this work. So we just kind of gotta random these random maps and just hope that things work out right. But I think at this point we just got to go, okay? So let's see. This one's actually kind of small, kind of a cool looking map actually. This might actually benefit Wilhelmina because it looks like she's got a lot of coastline down there. All right, so we have Gauls to the north over here. To their east is Russia, but they're actually on the other side of the map. Once again, right next to Norway. We have Vietnam south of them. And then we got a little bit of room until we get Netherlands. And then we have Gauls to the north, like we said, and then Persia's to the west, and then Ethiopia's far west. You know, I think actually everyone besides maybe Russia and Norway has quite a bit of room here. And the thing is, Russia could go westward here. Like, you know, it's unlikely Gaul is going to settle up there. And then there's also that little island there. And, you know, so then in that case, Norway might be the one that's kind of screwed. But they actually start right next to Crater Lake and a nice little volcano there. So, you know, they don't have a bad start. They also have some stuff there. I wanted to look at the Wilhelmina coastal land here. So they have one polder location there. One here, one there. Yeah, they got a ton of polders actually here, depending on how much they settle on the coast. Little probably disappointed with the Rotterdam. I mean, Amsterdam's there, so you couldn't settle there. So I suppose it's not bad, but look at the resources right here. My God, uranium right there. Freaking aluminum, niter, iron. Like, that's psychotic. And then, like, 2 horses right there, too. Like, that's a really good start. And she actually has 3 freaking cities, and they're all on rivers? What? What is the AI doing? Oh my God, same thing with the Gauls. What the heck? I think the game froze though. You gotta be kidding me. You gotta be kidding me. Look, you're all on water. It looks like he might be all on fresh water. Or at least, you know, coastal water. Oh my God, all the AI starts are all on fresh water. Nope, there you go. Lalibela. Thank you, Ethiopia. Man, I was worried there for a second. And then same thing with Persia. All right, well, we got to exit to main menu, and then we got to go ahead and load into that last turn. So we'll be back in another second. Oh my gosh. So I've turned Sean Bean to the Spanish version of Sean Bean, which won't take place until the next time I restart the game. But man, I'm like, oh, if there's one thing about these series, it's just like literally listen to Sean Bean read that first line like 6 billion times. I mean, I wonder how many games I've actually technically like loaded in, because it's not even like a game. You know, it would be like, because, you know, every time I record and like a new recording session or something, I would get Sean Bean again. Like, I have probably heard that opening phrase at least 1,000 times, at least at this point in my life, which I mean, I can say it pretty well myself. The funny thing is I don't really have it memorized. I mean, I kind of do, but it's like, oh my gosh, from the early cradle of civilization on towards the start. That's a bad Sean Bean. My voice isn't quite there yet. It's still waking up. But anyways, all right, so we have, what wonder is this one? I think this is one of the modded ones. One tile appears as volcano, get +2 science. And then additional yields on the eruption at the cost of population and damage to infrastructure, always active. So it's essentially a slightly variation version of, not Kyoto, of Mount, the Japanese one. Mount, not Rayorna, Mount, oh my gosh, I can even like picture what it looks like. Japan volcano, oh my gosh. Not Mount, Mount Fuji, yeah, there you go. Which is outside Kyoto, right? No, it's outside, isn't it outside? No, you know what I'm completely confused with? Pacific Rim. Because it's in Pacific Rim, and it looks like it's right outside, Tokyo. But it's actually pretty far away from Tokyo. Yeah, okay. Yeah. Sorry. Random. Anyways, so we have a barbarian builder. Interesting. We have vampires for the Gauls, which might be pretty sneaky and scary. They're also running around with Gestate. Now remind me on the Gestate. What is their specific thing? +10 combat strength when fighting units with higher base strength. Now you know what kind of sucks about that? And then +5 versus district defense. What sucks about that is that means that vampires still have 20 combat strength. So they would have actually just been benefited significantly more if the Gestate was at like 25 base strength. You know, at least the vampires would have got more benefit from it. In the scheme of things, though, I think it'll be okay for longer periods of time. Ethiopia is going to be the one that might have some issues here. They might need to go settle somewhere else, or they might have to war a little bit. Vietnam's got quite a bit of room. She's looking pretty good. Russia and Norway are getting on top of each other. Russia has popped out the vampires. Mother Russia vampires. And they're actually at 30 combat strength because of Anansi. So, okay, I actually forgot that they take the combat strength of the heroes, which is kind of awesome. Norway's a little on the weak side, but those longships are going to be really, really good against Russia. They can't take St. Petersburg, and they probably wouldn't be able to get around for Novgorod, but, you know, they could take Volynsk and Smolensk and do some damage there. Now, the biggest thing is it would be nice if they had vampires, but unfortunately, they do not have vampires. Now, we have no canal system possible. Dang. Oh, that sucks. Well, nope, because those are hills too. Yeah, there's all hills. There's no way to get Stavanger out into the water, which sucks. However, it looks like we can get here from the Crater Lake, because this actually counts as a lake, right? It appears as a lake. So yeah, you can actually have units there. Okay, so that's not the worst in the world. Actually could get maybe some canal systems through here as well with Vietnam. Then Netherlands got a decent amount of room here. We're gonna see some really sexy polders. She also has the Urulu, whatever, which is honestly one of my favorite wonders in the game, if only to build the Petra right next to. If she builds the Petra next to that, she might just get an auto win in my book. So the Gestate are pushing Buenos Aires. They have a good chance against Buenos Aires because they only need 22 combat strength. Downside is he's going to need a few more units. He's bringing in the catapults, which are going to absolutely destroy the walls here because they're at, what, 35 bombard strength against 22? Like, they're going to wreck the life out of these walls. The problem is he's not really... Okay, he needs a few more melee troops closer. I want to see how much this bombard does. Come on, catapult. Come on, hit the city. Oh, yeah, look at that, dude. Oh, man, almost 2 hits the freaking walls. That's crazy good. Okay, early wars would be over here. And, yeah, Russia and Norway are at war with each other. I think Russia declared the war. which is not all that surprising. The thing is, all Norway has to do is just leave their longship inside their city walls, and they're totally fine. I mean, look at that, 36 combat strength. Like, you just can't conquer that right now. Even Anansi was only at 28. Like, there's just no way that you actually would conquer this. You just take so much damage in each one of your units. You probably would like to also get walls, you know, at some point. These are melee troops, right? Yeah, they're melee. Because if they could shoot, that would be great. And the other thing about this is with the longship, you can actually then also put a archer inside the city walls as well, because you got the naval melee ship actually giving the garrison defense strength. So there's no reason to have another melee unit in there, especially if it doesn't do as much damage. So you could get some really good stuff going there. So Norway's pushing back towards Tula, but it doesn't look like they're going to be able to take much. No heroes for Norway, and still just Anansi, but Anansi isn't really doing a whole lot. Vampires are incoming. Vampires are up to 30 combat strength. Oh yeah, that's what Nancy was. For some reason, I thought Nancy was 28. Anyways, lots of Russian religion going here down to Vietnam. Okay, that's going to be interesting. Let's see. Netherlands still at what? 2, 4, 5 cities. So they're doing a little bit of expansion. Then 2, 4 cities for Gaul, and they ended up raising the city-state. Okay, that seems like a bug because there's literally 0% chance that had loyalty issues. He's gonna go put his own down there, but still, yeah, that was a bit strange. Persia's got a really strong army. Looks like, I don't know if they're going to go to war against Ethiopia here. Ethiopia is looking pretty good, though. They're actually popping. Oh, that's Colosseum. That looks like the Estadio, and I was highly confused there for a minute. It has the same starting base. It was like, that's a little early for an Estadio. Just a little early. I don't, I know Ethiopians love soccer. Actually, I don't know, but still, come on, man. I wonder what the earliest stadium ever built was. Okay, this is a good Google. Because you can't consider like the amphitheaters, right? Earliest stadium ever built. The oldest is the Olympic one in Greece. Yeah, I guess that was a stadium. Okay, what's the oldest stadium in use? Soldier Field in Chicago. Yeah, interesting. Well, that's kind of disappointing. I was kind of hoping for like something like really random and unique, like, I don't know, some random town in like Rome or something like that, which I guess they had the Colosseums, and I guess those are also stadiums too. Yeah, okay. That's kind of crazy to think about. So we've had like 3,000 years of like stadiums. That's kind of insane. That's kind of mind-blowing to think about. For like 3,000 years, we've been like, hey, let's build seats in a circle and then tall and then do some sport in the middle for people to cheer on. I don't know, that's just kind of interesting to me. Anywho, as Brian becomes a stadium designer in the later stages of his life, although I act like I'm about to die, but whatever, not that old. Anywho, so Brussels ended up getting conquered here by Vietnam. That was a city-state. The war here has not accomplished much. Russia is rolling catapults, but even with the catapults, man, I don't think they can take Nindaros. Also, they're rocking out horsemen, which are going to destroy these catapults in a 1v1. Yeah, you got to run here. You got to run here. As long as that Viking longship sits in the city, you're going to be fairly safe. And then, yeah, he's bringing more horsemen from the south, just going to wreck all the melee units. Russia does have the one swordsman there. Are horsemen 36 still? Yeah, so horsemen are technically one stronger, but that actually does make more sense. I feel like horsemen should be a little stronger against melee, because the whole idea is melee needs pikemen to survive against that. Russia's actually popping out crossbows. Interesting. Nidaros is at 0 HP, but there's no melee unit to take it, except the swordsman, which is kind of far away. Swordsman did end up killing off the Russian horse. Interesting. The big thing is now, will he end up moving the Stavanger horseman out? I mean, the swordsman here has no HP. The thing is, there actually is a chance that the swordsman would die trying to take over Nidaros. That has happened before. We have seen that happen, like a 0 HP unit still losing to a city that has no HP. Now, obviously, hopefully the AI would be smart enough to shoot the walls. Okay, we're going to see. Oh, he pops out a catapult, but then instead of shooting the swordsman, well, number one, that was kind of BS because he moved and shoot. I suppose because of the roads, it counted as like less than one movement. Still, that's kind of weird. We have the Volchan. I totally don't remember Vietnam's unit. It's a freaking elephant, though, which is awesome. So the Volscian, medieval era ranged unit that replaces the crossbow. These units have additional movement that can move after attacking. See, this is what I'm talking about. Like, I was talking about the Kamar elephant and how I just don't like the Kamar elephant compared to the elephants in Humankind. I think the Kamar elephant, I mean, it is that bombard elephant, but I think it should do like normal damage. Like, it should do also range damage strength or something. It should be baller against units. But this is kind of more the elephant I wanted to see. Now, 40 range strength is actually kind of bad. So the swordsman is healing right now instead of attacking. Interesting. You're only healing 5 per turn, but it didn't even look like you healed that turn. What are crossbowmen at? So they're at 40 range strength. So the elephant doesn't even do any additional range strength. I don't know. I'm personally in the opinion that elephants should be pretty freaking strong because, I mean, they're elephants, okay? Oh, you know what? That zombie spawning is actually 10 to 10. Oh, he still got it. He knew what was about to go down, and Mother Russia ended up grabbing the Daros. Now, he can't raise the city. He is going to lose the city. It's going to definitely flip back. Nothing else. I mean, Norway could definitely take that back with his longship units, which, yeah, I mean, there you go. He's just going to grab it right back. Still, that's pretty good for Russia, and I'm actually happy to see a Russia that's actually actively participating in the game. So we have the Gaul now right on top of the Persian units. Persia's only at 380. I thought they would have more, so Gauls actually have a little bit more on the unit case. And then Menelik down here isn't really doing a whole lot. Only has 91 combat strength. He is a little on the weak side. All right, Persia declared war. Here we go. They got the men-at-arms. Men-at-arms against Milan. The men-at-arms are what? 40? No, that's Mulan, Brian. The men-at-arms have 45 melee strength. Without walls here, he has a chance. Question is, can he grab this before those walls finish? It's going to be really tight. Nope, she just somehow finished them in one turn. I do not know. The city-state where you could buy it does not exist, so have no idea how she went from 2 turns to done. She must have just like somehow like just sped up production there. Norway gave up trying to take Nidaros. Weird. I mean, he's not doing anything else with the ships right now. He should be, well, the walls in Nidaros are definitely going to make that like kind of hard to grab, but that's okay. So Persia's attack is now worthless. They're going for Cahokia, which is not a bad play here. I'd imagine Persia probably in first place, if I had to guess. Persia's in 4th. Gauls are actually in 1st. Oh, kind of surprising on that. I wonder, let's look at religion real quick. Peter going heavy in the religion game. And does Vietnam have one of their religions? Wilhelmina, Cyrus, Gaul, Ethiopia, and Peter. So Protestantism, I can never say that. Oh my gosh, hiccups. Sorry. Netherlands, okay. Talking too fast. Slow it down, Brian. I know there's a lot of excitement going on. Just calm it down. All right, I think we're good. Nidaros ended up flipping. They still have Himiko inside the flip city, which is a little strange to me, but that's going to go right back to Norway. Problem is, I think Norway's going to probably get a Dark Age. I don't know that they can overcome this. They're also in a really awkward spot down here because Vietnam is not weak. And Vietnam grew really tall, not wide. And I mean that from the standpoint of actually tall on the map, not like tall from a number of cities. So he basically locked out this entire coastline, which is kind of crazy. Gauls kind of went wide here instead of tall. Netherlands still have a lot of space down here too. So Netherlands should be doing really well here long term. They actually have the pyramids. Please don't build the Petra in a worthless city. Please just settle over here in the desert. And then like, I would totally throw a city right here and then build the Petra. And then with the oil in that city, oh my gosh. And then you'd also have the niter in this city. Oh, that would be such a good city. You can go right there. Yeah, that's where I would build it. Oh, now, obviously, I wouldn't probably know about the niter or anything of that. Oh, Torredal Plain here. Although that Torredal Plain has 2 districts on it, which is kind of annoying. Actually, this was just an improvement, but it has 1 district on it. And then it has 4 of its tiles are water. Although, you know what would be amazing is if Wilhelmina actually had that, because she could actually make those okay. Or you know what? No, because she can't build them. I was gonna say Indonesia, but she can't build the kapungs in. They have to be on coast, right? So she couldn't build those in the lake, because those would also be amazing. Or you know what? Someone throws the lake down Hue. That would also be really good. And give a little bit more stuff in that city. All right, so Nidaros is now back to Norway. Although we have the weird situation where Stavanger is the capital, even though it's not technically the capital for the sake of winning the game. Oh, Vietnam has now declared war on Russia. We have Beowulf fighting back. Dude, gotta be honest. Russia's pretty impressive here. They have Beowulf. They have... These vampires should be at 65, I thought now. Or 60. Huh. So they took the combat strength of the early unit, but not the later hero. Weird. Unless there was something else that had 30 combat strength, but I just don't know what it would have been. All right, well, we got to wrap this episode up here. So hope you guys enjoyed it. This was a bit of a weird one, but if you did, drop a like, comment, let me know what you think. As always, hit the subscribe button, join the game, comment, share your support. Remember, we're taking the top 2. So right now it is Gauls and Vietnam. We shall see if it maintains that way as we continue on. So till tomorrow. Bye, everyone.